The studio lights of The View buzzed with anticipation as Samuel L. Jackson stepped onto the set, his presence commanding immediate attention from the audience and hosts alike. Joy Behar, known for her sharp wit and unfiltered opinions, leaned forward with a mischievous grin, ready to dive into what she thought would be a lively discussion about Jackson's latest film project. The conversation started innocently enough, with Whoopi Goldberg praising Jackson's iconic roles and his enduring impact on Hollywood. But Behar quickly steered it toward politics, a topic that always ignited sparks on the show. Jackson, ever the straight shooter, responded with his trademark candor, dismissing Twitter's relevance in real-world issues, echoing his past sentiments that social media frenzy distract from genuine problems like voting and community action. Behar pushed back, insisting on the platform's influence and Elon Musk's role, her voice rising as she defended her view that Nazis and extremists could infiltrate unchecked. The audience murmured, sensing the tension building, while co-hosts like Sunny Hostin tried to mediate, but Jackson's eyes narrowed, his patience wearing thin as Behar's questions felt more like accusations. He interjected firmly, "Twitter ain't the real world, Joy. Quit it and focus on what's actually happening out there," his deep voice reverberating through the studio. Behar fired back, accusing him of downplaying dangers, her hands gesturing wildly, escalating the exchange into a brutal back-and-forth that had viewers on the edge of their seats. As the argument intensified, Jackson's frustration boiled over, his words. As the debate raged on, Joy Behar's persistence clashed head-on with Samuel L. Jackson's unyielding stance, her questions probing deeper into his views on social media societal impact, while he countered with real-life priorities like elections and personal accountability. "You're simplifying it too much, Sam. It's not just quitting, it's about awareness," Behar exclaimed, her tone laced with challenge, prompting Jackson to retort. "Awareness without action is noise, Joy, and we've got enough of that." The audience applauded sporadically, divided in their loyalties, as Whoopi attempted to lighten the mood with a joke about Hollywood's love for drama, but it fell flat amid the rising tempers. Jackson, drawing from his experiences promoting voter turnout alongside his wife LaTanya, emphasized the importance of tangible efforts over online outrage, his voice booming with conviction that silenced the panel momentarily. Behar, undeterred, brought up past controversies, questioning if celebrities like him truly understood the platform's reach, which struck a nerve. Jackson's face hardened, his response a passionate defense of focusing on important things we have to deal with, dismissing Musk as irrelevant to everyday struggles. The brutal exchange unfolded in real time, with Behar's barbs met by Jackson's eloquent dismissals, creating a verbal sparring match that highlighted generational and ideological divides. Co-hosts shifted uncomfortably, Sarah Haynes nodding in agreement with Jackson's call to quit distractions, while the live feed captured the raw emotion, beads of sweat on Behar's brow as she pressed on. Suddenly, Jackson erupted, slamming his hand on the table lightly for emphasis, declaring, "Enough with the Twitter talk. Let's talk about voting, about change that matters." The studio erupted in applause, but Behar wasn't backing down, her rebuttal accusing him of naivety, fueling the fire further. The tension peaked when Joy Behar referenced historical parallels to social media threats, her voice trembling with urgency. But Samuel L. Jackson cut through with a powerful analogy from his acting career, comparing online echo chambers to scripted villains that dissolve off-screen. "I've played enough bad guys to know the difference between fiction and reality, Joy. This ain't a movie," he stated, his eyes locking with hers in a stare down that hushed the audience. Behar, feeling cornered, escalated by questioning his activism credentials, a low blow that ignited Jackson's full fury. He leaned forward, his baritone voice rising. "Don't question my fight. I've been in the trenches while you're debating tweets." The other hosts interjected, Whoopi urging calm with her moderator skills. But the damage was done, the exchange now brutally personal. Sunny Hostin tried to pivot to positive voter stories, but Jackson, fueled by the confrontation, launched into an impassioned monologue about real-world heroes like Brittany Griner, tying it back to his dismissal of digital distractions. Behar's face flushed, her retorts growing sharper, accusing him of elitism, which only amplified his eruption. Elitism? I'm out here urging people to vote, not scroll. The live audience cheered, sensing Jackson's authenticity winning the moment, while producers offstage signaled for commercial, but the hosts powered through. This brutal volley exposed vulnerabilities on both sides, Behar's passion for awareness clashing with Jackson's pragmatic realism, creating a spectacle of raw emotion. As the argument swirled, Jackson's wife LaTonya's earlier words echoed in his defense, reinforcing the call to action over reaction. The studio lights seemed hotter, the air thicker, as this live eruption unfolded, captivating millions tuning in, with every word laced with the weight of public personas colliding. Finally, a brief pause allowed breath to be caught, but the undercurrent of unresolved fricty. Resuming after the break, Samuel L. Jackson's composure cracked further under Joy Behar's relentless probing. Her latest question about celebrity responsibility in the digital age met with a thunderous rebuttal that echoed his famous on-screen intensity. Responsibility starts at the ballot box, not your phone screen. Joy, get real, he bellowed, his gestures sweeping across the table, drawing widespread applause and stunned silence from the panel. Behar, ever combative, countered with examples of online harms, her voice cracking slightly, but Jackson dismantled them methodically, sharing anecdotes from his life that underscored the futility of endless online battles. Whoopi Goldberg, sensing the eruption's intensity, attempted humor again, quipping about needing a Pulp Fiction script to resolve it, eliciting laughs but not diffusing the heat. The exchange turned brutal as Behar implied Jackson's views ignored marginalized voices, a charge he vehemently denied, erupting into a defense of his lifelong advocacy that left her momentarily speechless. Co-hosts like Ana Navarro, if present, might have chimed in, but the focus remained on this duo's clash, with Jackson's eloquence turning the tide. The audience's energy surged, chants of support for Jackson rising, while Behar regrouped, her tenacity admirable yet fueling the fire. This live moment became legendary, a testament to unscripted television's power, as Jackson's passion for substance over spectacle shone through. He elaborated on quitting distractions to embrace real change, his words inspiring viewers to reflect on their own habits. As the segment neared end, the brutal exchange had evolved into mutual respect amid the chaos, though tempers still simmered. Producers whispered urgently, but the show pressed on, capturing the raw humanity of the stars. Jackson's final zinger about focusing on votes over vitriol sealed his stance, leaving Behar to concede with a wry smile, the eruption. In the aftermath of the heated volleys, Samuel L. Jackson's eruption reached its zenith when Joy Behar circled back to Elon Musk, her pointed remark about unchecked power on platforms drawing a fierce response that had the entire studio on its feet. Musk is Musk, irrelevant to the fight we need to wage daily. Jackson thundered, his presence dominating, as he pivoted to calls for civic engagement, echoing his wife's earlier pleas for voting in key races. Behar's eyes widened, her brutal pushback accusing him of escapism, but Jackson's counter was a masterclass in rebuttal, weaving personal history with broader societal truths that resonated deeply. The other hosts, now fully engaged, added layers, Sunny affirming real-world activism, while Joy's persistence highlighted her commitment to vigilance. This exchange, brutal in its honesty, exposed the chasm between online activism and boots-on-the-ground efforts, with Jackson's live fury galvanizing the audience. Cheers erupted as he dismissed social media's not real-world status once more, his voice a rallying cry against digital delusion. Behar, undaunted, pressed for balance, but the momentum shifted irreversibly toward Jackson's grounded wisdom. The live feed captured every nuance, the furrowed brows, the emphatic nods, turning the show into a cultural touchstone. As tensions peaked, Whoopi intervened decisively, wrapping the topic but not before Jackson's impassioned close. Quit the noise, embrace the work. The brutal confrontation left an indelible mark, sparking post-show buzz and reflections on media's role. Behar's grace in defeat added depth, showing respect amid rivalry. This eruption wasn't mere drama. It was a catalyst for dialogue, with Jackson's star power amplifying messages of action over distraction, ensuring the moment lived on in viewers' minds long after the credits. Approximately 1480 characters,